ICO Automatic Vacuum Sealing System. Today we're looking at the brand new ICO Automatic Vacuum Sealing System. This device can save you thousands of dollars a year by preserving your food in vacuum seal bags to increase their shelf life from months to years. Now, if you've used a vacuum sealer before, you'll have noticed that this one is tall instead of the typical stout clamshell design, and its height actually helps save counter space. So you can keep your vacuum sealer on the counter at all times, and you can use it every day instead of just pulling it out when you've planned to. So, let's see how it works. Vacuum sealing fresh meat and poultry. So we're going to start by preparing some beef that we bought in bulk for long-term preservation, and basically using a vacuum sealer eliminates the risk of freezer burn and preserves the meat's freshness and its taste. So this way you can purchase high-quality cuts when they're on sale and preserve them for later use. Now the beef steak is still fresh, so I'm going to select the moist setting by pressing the adjustable food settings button. We pop the meat in the bag, and then we insert the bag into the vacuum sealer. Lock it in place with the two lock catches, and press the vacuum seal button on the sealer, and this will automatically remove all the air from the bag and seal it shut. And remember that any excess liquid in the food will be sucked out into the removable machine washable drip tray on the back of the vacuum sealer. So now we'll write the date on our vacuum bag, and then we'll know when we need to use this by. Beef and poultry preserved with the ICO vacuum sealing system will stay fresh in your freezer for between 2 and 3 years. And as you'll see, the savings from buying in bulk will start to add up very quickly. Saving fresh vegetables. The next thing I want to show you is how to preserve harvest fresh produce. Now, if you have a hobby garden, a nearby farmer's market, or even just a few herbs growing in a pot in your kitchen, this is a great way to save these fresh flavors. It's really important to blanch and then cut your fresh vegetables before attempting to vacuum seal them, because even very clean, non-blanched vegetables will contain enzymes and bacteria, and that will cause gases to form in your vacuum sealed bag and will definitely spoil your produce. Now, if you do need some tips for blanching, the National Centre for Home Food Preservation maintains a helpful list of blanching times for different vegetables. And I must admit, I blanched these bell peppers for about 3 minutes before cutting them up in preparation for preserving. And the squash took about 5 minutes to blanch. And once your produce is blanched and cut, ready, it's then time to vacuum seal for storage. Just like the meat, we place the prepared produce into an ICO vacuum seal bag, and then we press the vacuum and seal button. And this time I'll use normal and dry settings. As you can see, the air is automatically vacuumed out and a seal is applied to the bag. So now we can mark the date on the bag and it's ready to freeze. Saving soups, stews, and curries. Finally, I'm going to show you how to save soups and stews with your ICO vacuum sealer. And this process will keep your soup or stew fresh in the freezer for up to 2 years. ICO's BPA and phthalate-free vacuum bags are easily microwavable or steamable, so you can enjoy a meal straight from the freezer whenever you'd like. This is also a great option for families who are expecting new children and just want to have some easily reheatable, nutritious food available at a moment's notice. And best of all, no more high-sodium canned soup. Now, before sealing a soup or a stew, it's important to freeze it overnight first. Liquids expand when they're frozen, so if you do attempt to seal a soup or a stew and then freeze it, the expanding liquid will probably rip your vacuum sealed bag and waste your food. And not to mention, it is so much easier to vacuum seal frozen soup and stew. For light soups and broths, we recommend freezing the liquid in ice cube trays overnight before sealing. And the cube shape allows for a large volume to fit inside a single vacuum bag. And for stews or chunky soups, we recommend using a muffin tin or something similar, maybe even a loaf pan to freeze the liquid first. And you can even pre-portion your stew, your curry or your soup in bowls and freeze it in the bowl and then transfer to a vacuum bag for sealing, which is perfect for portion-controlled diets. So here I have some fresh chicken broth that I made yesterday afternoon, and then I froze in ice cube trays overnight. And these will just pop right out of the tray and into a vacuum sealer bag. Using the normal and dry settings again, I'm going to press the vacuum and seal button, and I'm going to remove all the air and all the moisture from this bag and seal it shut. Then I'll mark the date on the bag and place it in my freezer. Today I've shown you 3 ways that you can use the ICO vacuum sealing system, but don't forget that there are lots of great household uses for this device. For example, cooking sous vide, preserving baked goods from frozen or room temperature, preserving pasta and casseroles, resealing snack and cereal bags, and many more. All the while saving money for yourself and saving food waste for the planet. Thank you for joining me today on this demonstration of the ICO automatic vacuum sealing system. I hope you'll love your vacuum sealer as much as I love mine.